The title of the show is We Are Now in the Mountains and They Are in Us. It's a line of a book by one of the first ecologists, John Muir, and the book was called My First Summer in the Sierra, and it was basically a collection of his diary entries from the summer of 1869 when he first visited the Sierras and the Yosemite National Park region in California. I was quite interested in John Muir's book because it was written at the cusp of, kind of global modernization, but it still kind of retains like an ecologist's love letter to the natural world in a very uncynical way. And I thought it would kind of playfully allow us reconsider our own relationship to nature and how we think about it and how we look at the earth. While this is a room full of static objects, it's also a room that's very much in flux. Even in particular instances, there's new images being generated within the space in real time as well. In terms of how every artwork in this room began, it was thinking about what a particular piece of technology is, what it does, how it works, and what perhaps are historical contexts that can be kind of brought in. In this exhibition, there's a kind of huge backstory behind every single one of the artworks, but there's very little textual mediation because we wanted people to have the room to kind of develop their kind of own relationships to the artworks and objects and images in the exhibition and give people the space to enjoy it on their own terms. One of the sculptures in the exhibition behind me is a replica of a 19th century food cart, and there's a 3D printer on top which is kind of relentlessly producing kind of plastic corn cob shapes. The plastic that's used in 3D printing is called polylactic acid and is a derivative of corn. So the corn shapes are actually made out of corn and returning the material back to its kind of root form, albeit a very cartoony shape. But also I took inspiration from kind of other areas of culture for the parasol, which you'll see there's a kind of fabric design in that pattern which is taken from Marge Simpson's Kitchen Curtains. So I was kind of interested in looking at how something like corn was represented through different scales, through local economies, global economies, because we have the live corn futures price from the NASDAQ being displayed on an LED display on the side.
June 16th, one of the Indians who brought Butler right into the middle of the camp this morning, unobserved.
There's a live simulation in a video game engine taking place in the gallery, and what we see is one of these television weather reporters putting themselves in the danger for our entertainment. It's the kind of trope that we see more and more every year as extreme weather events appear. But what she's doing actually is wandering around a 100-kilometer square simulation of Yosemite National Park randomly every day, and she's scream reading all of John Muir's book from 1869, My First Summer in the Sierra, verbatim. Not intentionally trying to make things funny. I think maybe some of my thought processes and resolutions I arrive at perhaps are kind of odd and weird sometimes and goofy, but it's not my intent to kind of make anything funny ever. I think maybe some of the artworks are kind of ridiculous in a way, but we need more of ridiculous things in the world, I think.